Good morning, class 5. So, today we're gonna do some question and answers from the page number 81. So, let's begin. So, the first question we have is, what is a habitat? Name 5 habitats found on Earth. So, the answer will be the area where a particular animal naturally live is called its habitat. Full stop. Forest, desert, polar region, mountains, and oceans. Okay. Then we have next question, which is, what are the characteristics features of a teeth in in herbivores? So what you have to write is, herbivores such as cows, buffaloes, and goats have a thick pad called the dental pad, comma, in the upper jaw and sharp incisor in the lower jaw, full stop. These help them to hold and pull out grass and leaves. They also have broad premolar and molar that help them to grind and chew the grass. Rodents such as squirrel. So, rodents such as squirrel, rabbit, and rat have very sharp front teeth to gnaw nuts and seeds. Okay, that much you have to write for the question number 2 answers. Moving on with the next question. So after this, question number 3, what is a camouflage? Name one animal that shows camouflage. So answer should be, body covering of some animals match their surrounding. Okay, this mechanism is called camouflage. It makes the animal hard to spot and protects it from enemies. An example is chameleon, which can change its body color to match the surroundings. Okay, then we have question. So then we have question number 4. Explain with example the different kinds of body covering that animals have. So what you're gonna write is, bodies of birds are covered with feathers which help them to keep them warm. The bodies of bear is covered with fur to keep it warm. Crocodile has thick plate-like scales. Beetles have a hard outer covering called cuticle that protects the soft body. Bodies of fish is covered with scales. Full stop. Tortoise and snail have a shell to protect their soft and delicate bodies. Moving on. And the next question we have is, define the following. So the first is molting, second adaptation, third camouflage, fourth fins, and fifth flippers. So write like this. First, molting. Shedding of skin to acquire a new one is called molting. For adaptation, change in the feature or behavior of an organism that help it to survive in its habitat are called adaptation. Camouflage. Body coverings of some animals match their surrounding. This mechanism is called camouflage. It makes the animal hard to spot and protects it from enemies. For fins, you have right. Fish, dolphins, and whales have a special structure on their bodies called fins, which help them to swim. And for flippers, you have to write, fin-like structures in penguins and sails are called flippers. Moving on. So the next question we have is question number 6. Explain with examples the different kinds of breathing organs found in animals. So answer should be different types of animals have different organs for breathing. Point number 1. Human being and sheep breathe through their nose. From the nose, air is carried to the special organs called lungs. Point number 2. Fish have special structure called gills through which they breathe. Point number 3. Frogs and earthworms breathe through their moist skin. Frogs also breathe through their lungs when on land. Point number 4. Insects such as grasshopper and cockroaches breathe with the help of series of tiny holes along the sides of their bodies. These holes are called spiracles. Moving on. So after this we have question from let's recall and complete the concept map given below. So the first one we have is a types of habitat, which has been categorized into 5, which are forest, desert, polar regions, oceans and water. So we have to write 2 examples for each of them. So in the example for the forest will be tiger and bear, and example for desert will be camel and rattlesnake. Examples for polar regions will be polar bear and seal. Examples for oceans will be octopus and jellyfish, and examples of mountains will be yak and mountain goat. Moving on, and the next we have is a adaptation, which has been categorized into 4 types. The first type we have a types of body covering. For that we have examples like fur. So types of body covering we have examples like fur, scales and feathers. And types of breathing organs, examples like lungs, gills and spiracles. Next we have types of organs for movement, that will be your limbs, wings and fins. And the last one is the types of eating habits, and your examples are herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. So moving on. So after this we have question from let's observe. Point out 2 mistakes in this picture. As you can see, there is a picture of there's a picture inside the ocean, okay, where different animals are placed which are not supposed to be placed, and then you have to find out the mistakes. So you have to write like this: the habitat of tiger is forest, not sea. Okay, birds cannot live under water. Cactus does not grow underwater. Frogs do not live in the sea. And for question 3, how is the frog able to breathe on land as well as in water? For that you have to write frog breathe using lungs on land and through their skin in water. Okay. Now with the question 2, Pankaj's camel has lost its way and reached a wrong habitat. Tick the correct habitat for his camel, and your options are forest, desert, ocean, mountain and river. So the correct option is option desert, because the camel usually lives on the desert area. Moving on. So the next we have is a question from Let's Connect. On a map of a world, mark the 5 oceans in blue, any 5 forest area in green, and any 5 desert in yellow. Make a legend to show what each color stands for. Also write the names of marked places. So this will be your home assignment. You need to buy one world map and place those color those places which are mentioned here. Oceans, 5 oceans, 5 forests and 5 deserts, and color it accordingly. Okay, this will be your home assignment. So moving on. So after this we have question from Let's Apply. Question number 1. Why are desert animals usually more active at night? So you have to write animals are active in the night because it is usually very hot during the day and cold during the night. And for question number 2, why can penguins not fly despite having wings? So you have to write penguins do not have wings. They have fin-like structure called flippers. So moving on, we have a question from Let's Analyze and Evaluate. Question number 1. Compare the body covering of snail, a snake, a penguin, and a fish for safety from enemies. So what you have to write is, a snail has a shell covering its body. Snakes and fish have scales. These coverings protect them from respective predators. Okay. Then we have question 2. Which of these animals would be most suited to live in a desert and why? So what you have to write is, snakes are ideally suited to live in the deserts. The scales protects them in the sandy habitat and keep them safe in the hot days and cold nights. Okay, that much you have to write. So that's all for today. We're gonna start with our new chapter in the next class. Thank you.